team will be presenting on the job training and off-the-job training in human resource management. So my name is Chaira binti Kamar Arifin. So I'm going to explain more on the types of training in the human resource management. In human resource management, there are lots of training provided to maintain the quality of their workers in the organization. Every training that provided must have the advantages and disadvantages, and every top management need to take this opportunity to rebuild their organization so that they can motivate their workers as well. So these are the types of the training in the human resource management, such as technology-based learning, simulators, on-the-job training and off-the-job training, coaching or mentoring, lectures, group discussion and tutorials, and also role-playing. Many avenues exist to train employees. The only key is to match the training method to the situation and assess each training method implemented in the organization and get the feedback from their trainees to see if they get anything from the training. So next, I will explain more on the job training itself. So the definition of the job training is this is a very important training, and this training is an absolute essential in today's competition. Even though companies nowadays make it hard effort to hire the best available talents, but unless this talent is not published through training, it can never give the optimum output for the organization. Next, job training is one of the HR functions that concern on enhancing the knowledge, skills, and also competency of employees for a particular job, so that they can perform to their best, and some believe that this method should be implemented only to the new employees in order to make them learn about their job as well as the organization. Next, I will explain more on the training methods in the organization. So for the on-the-job training, there consists of 5 methods, such as job rotation, coaching, job instructions, committee assignments, and also internship training. So first, for job rotation, this training method involves a movement of trainee from one job to another to gain knowledge and experience from different job assignments. These methods will help them to understand more of the problems of the other employees. Second, coaching. Coaching is a trainee is placed under a particular supervisor who functions as a coach in training and provides feedback to the trainee. Sometimes the trainee may not get an opportunity to express their ideas. For the third method is job instructions. For job instruction, this method is known as step-by-step training, in which the trainer explains the way of doing the jobs to the trainer, and in case of mistake, corrects the trainee. The next method is committee assignments. This method is a group of trainees are asked to solve a given organizational problem by discussing the problem. This will improve them to work among the employees and also the team among the organization. Lastly, internship training. For this method, instructions are through theoretical, practical, and practices are provided to the trainees. So I'll pass to the next presenter, which is Zarifah.
I will continue about the advantage and disadvantage of the on-the-job training. For the first one, for the advantage, we have a simple method of learning. Simple method of learning is the most practical way to learn, and even faster to understand the methodology adapted by the team and how they function. It ensures that you know in and out of the project by being the shadow of an experienced person for a while. For the second one is academic method of learning. Is your company spending a lot on classroom training? Is the classroom training help you achieve your goals with the new trainers join your project? If your answer is no, then your solution is the on-the-job training. There is no training needs attached to the on-the-job training. You You do not need a lecturer from outside or a classroom to train your new trainers or staff. All you need to do is assign them a project and a colleague who can show them what they need to do. For the third one is get the feel right. You get to train in the actual setup of your work, giving you the feel of the working style right from day one. There are no surprise or change from what you train to what you have actually to do. It is all the same and consistent way you the confident of performing the job well. You don't have to get nervous on the fact that you are assigned for a task that you were not trained to do, or your environment is completely different from what was explained to you. Whatever you see, well, it will get what you get. The fourth is immediate productivity. Every company wants to get their new trainers on board as soon as possible, rather than waste their resources on the bench. Be it on project or not, they will have to pay them the salary. You are going to work within the teams as a team members, ensuring that some of the responsibility will be assigned to you from day one. This will give assurance to the company that their resources are being used right from the day that they are appointed, and hence making sure that immediate productivity is achieved and then there is no bench time. 5 is quick learning. You get trained in a classroom using a mock-up workstation, and when you arrive at the actual workplace, you find that it is nothing like you have been trained to do. You are surprised and confused. Your productivity takes a hit as you will have to understand the whole process again. Whereas on-the-job training helps you learn quickly by being the parts of the education, and hence no extra time is wasted in understanding how the system. 6 is systematic. A systematic way of learning is far more effective than a random way of learning. You have a stepwise training program when it comes to on-the-job training, as your superior will be performing the task and you will be his or her shadow. This way you will be clear on the stepwise execution of your task, giving you the chance to learn systematically and helping you understand whether there can be any improvement in getting the works done faster and quicker. The disadvantage, we have 5 disadvantages on the job training. For the first one is rush process. Every employer wants to have his or her new trainer on the job as soon as possible, so that you can ensure the resources is utilized to the fullest. There is high probability of rushing through the process of training, creating a lot of doubts and confusion right from the day one. Rushing into the training process to complete it as soon as possible can lead to new mistakes and less efficient train. For the second one is teaching is a skill that everyone does not possess. Teaching is a skill, and there are trainers who are appointed to train for the same. You cannot pick up anyone in your project and ask them to train the new trainee. Not everyone can explain the job better, as you need to have clear communication. The third one is low productivity. You are asking the trainees to join the project and learn the process while doing a project. This can cost you a lot of time to execute a task, as it will be explaining each and every step of the task before hitting the green button. You might end up wasting your time as well as the time the trainers at the cost of your project. This will take a hit on the productivity of your ongoing project, which can lead you to late delivery costing and a bad review on the job satisfaction. 4 is creates disturbance. With the new trainees crawling into the actual workplace can lead to a lot of disturbance within the team. The discussion between the supervisor and the trainees can lead to unnecessary disturbance for the co-workers, hitting on their concentration at work. So you might end up poking them at the wrong time for giving information to the new trainees, causing them their valuable time. For the last disadvantage is accidents can happen. This happens very likely in a manufacturing industry where you are dealing with machinery. If the trainer are involved in the production process directly and have no experience, then the probability of having problem or accident is very high. So you need to have the right knowledge of the machinery and the material used before you jump into the production environment. So I will pass to Aimi Nadia to explain about the job training. Thank you.
What is the definition of off-the-job training? Okay, off-the-job training is the training method wherein the workers or employees learn their job rules away from the actual work floor. As we know, off-the-job training comprises of a place specifically allotted for the training purpose that may be near to the actual workplace, where the workers are required to learn the skills and get well equipped with the tools and techniques that are to be used at the actual work floor. There are 6 methods of off-the-job training that will be used by the employees, which is special lectures, simulation, vestibule training, case studies, role-playing, and management games. Okay, for the first method, special lectures. This is also called as classroom training, wherein the employees are given lectures about the job requirements and the necessary skill required for implementing the job. It is to let employees know more detail about their job and what they need to do. Okay, second, simulation. As we know, this is one of the most common method of training wherein the employees learns to operate tools and machinery that look alike to those they will be using in the actual work environment. The reason why we use this method is to make the employees used to the tools that relate to their work environment. Next, vestibule training. This type of training is specifically given to the technical staff, office staff, and the employees who learn the operations of tools and equipment assembled at a place away from the actual work floor. Other than that, case studies also one of the method of off-the-job training. Under this method, the trainees are given the situation or a problem in the form of a case study and are required to solve it as per their learning from the training program. from there, we can see how they manage to solve the situation or problem and can they solve it or not. Besides that, role playing also one of the method of off-the-job training. This type of training is essential in case of customer service. Under this, the trainees assume roles and enact as per the given situations. It is also called as a socio-drama or psychodrama, wherein the employees act as if they are facing the situation and have to solve it spontaneously without any guidance. Okay, last but not least, management games. Under this method, the trainees are divided into groups and then they are presented with the simulated marketplace or the situation wherein they are required to apply their learning and solve the problems accordingly. Under off-the-job training, the worker concentrates only on the learning of a job and is not accountable for the production. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to Mahadi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you to Amin Nadia, and I will continue to advantages and disadvantages of the job training. Okay, providing the off-the-job training opportunities, your staff allow them to pay more attention to the training activities. However, they have the main advantages and disadvantages, and this form of training can be summarized as follows. First, advantages of off-the-job training. Trainers are usually experienced enough to train. Second, it is systematically organized. Third, and efficiency created program may add lot of value. For the advantages of off-the-job training, basically made employees be more confident when starting a job. It is afforded the chance to learn about practices in others' company and to learn skill that might not be utilized the particular workplace. Other than that, off-the-job training program lead to long-term success. For example, aligning your program objective to a strategic goals. For the disadvantages of off-the-job training, first it is not directly in the context of job. Second, it is often formal. Second, it may not be based on experience. And fourth, it is expensive. Fifth, trainees may not be much motivated. And last, it is artificial in nature. However, off-the-job training also have their own disadvantages. Off-the-job training is more expensive because it involves a lot of costs such as transportation and accommodation costs. Besides, company also need to prepare extra place for training outside the actual work environment. Training that involved with off-the-job training also not much motivated as they are trained in the artificial classroom. They are not really familiar with actual work environment. Thank you. That's all for me. Then I will pass to Izzati Asman to cover their comparison between on-the-job and off-the-job training.
Okay, my name is Izzati Azman. I will talk about comparison between on-the-job training and off-the-job training. According to CBS, this is a chart of comparison between on-the-job training and off-the-job training. On-the-job training is a method which employees are given hands-on experience with instruction from their supervisor and other trainee and other trainers. Besides, on-the-job training is typical for non-managerial employees, while most managerial employees are trained by on-the-job experiences. First comparison is by meaning. On-the-job training refers to a form of training which is provided at the workplace during the performance of the actual job. Off-the-job training is when the employees are given training outside the actual work location, such as type of training is termed as off-the-job training. Second is approach. Practical is on the job training, while theoretical is off the job training. Third is active participation. On the job training is yes, while no is on off the job training. Okay, fourth is location. On the job training is formed at workplace, while off the job training is away from the workplace. Next is principle. On the job training is learned by performing. On the job training is learned by acquiring knowledge. Next is work description. On the job training is no, because trainees produce the products by learning, during learning, while of the job training is yes, because first training is provided, which is followed by a performance. Okay, next is carried out by experienced employees is by on the job training. Professional or expert is of the job training. Okay, for the cost is not expensive for on the job training, and of the job training is quite expensive. Okay, suitable for manufacturing firms is on the job training, while of the job training is non-manufacturing firms. Okay, last is conclusion. For the conclusion is testing often follows training to know what the trainees learn during training. The evaluation is done by specific criteria like a number of accidents, quality, productivity, and performance. This training method used to impart training to employees at the workplace performing the job is known as on-the-job training. Of the job training involve the training of employees outside the job location. It also involve the hands-on experience of the trainees, which is not the case of the job training. Besides, of the job training is more time-consuming compared to on-the-job training. Last but not least, on-the-job training is carried out by the experienced employees, while off-the-job training is provided by the experts. That's all for me. Thank you.
Ah,